Welcome back to the channel. Today we're dissecting a major story that's dominated headlines in the WNBA playoffs. Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon has ignited a fiery debate, unequivocally stating that the physical play in her team's playoff series against the Indiana Fever was out of control and akin to a bar fight. These aren't just isolated comments. They've become the latest flashpoint in a league-wide discussion about physicality, officiating standards, player safety, and the very integrity of the game. Hammon's outspokenness has amplified concerns that have been simmering all season, putting immense pressure on the league and its officials at a time when the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth. The spark, Hammon's post-game comments, following the Aces' crucial Game 2 victory over the Fever, a win that tied the semifinal series at 1 game apiece. Coach Hammon delivered a scathing assessment of the officiating. She criticized the level of physicality being permitted, arguing that it went far beyond what's acceptable or even safe. She famously likened it to a bar fight, and even drew parallels to the NFL, stating defenders were being allowed to engage in contact similar to bumping and grabbing a wide receiver in the NFL for those first 5 yards, but you can do it in the W for the whole half court. Her NBA assistant coaches, she noted, were baffled by the leniency, expressing that such a style of play would never be tolerated in the men's league and would undoubtedly lead to actual fights. Hammon emphasized that WNBA players, despite enduring this level of contact, maintain remarkable composure and simply move on to the next play. Her primary point centered on the lack of freedom of movement for offensive players, a fundamental principle that seems to be consistently overlooked by the referees. According to Sports Illustrated, she even alluded to the treatment of stars like Caitlin Clark earlier in the season, suggesting that the league needs to address how such physicality is permitted against key players. A season-long issue, beyond a single game. It's crucial to understand that Hammon's frustration didn't come out of nowhere. Complaints about inconsistent officiating have been a recurring theme throughout the entire WNBA season. Coaches and players across the league have consistently voiced concerns that the referees are letting too much go. This isn't just about this season either. Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve famously criticized the officials after her team's loss in Game 5 of last year's WNBA Finals, believing a crucial foul call ultimately cost them the championship. The high number of fouls called in Game 2, a staggering 41 total fouls, further complicates the issue. While some might argue that more fouls means stricter officiating, the sentiment from the coaches suggests otherwise. Fever coach Stephanie White, while acknowledging the Aces' aggressive play, focused on how the constant stoppages disrupted her team's offensive rhythm and flow, making it difficult for them to find a groove. This highlights a key challenge. It's not just the quantity of fouls, but the inconsistency and potentially arbitrary nature of the calls that are causing frustration. The impact, player safety and game quality. The implications of this ongoing officiating debate are far-reaching. At the forefront is player safety. WNBA games are inherently physical, a point many fans appreciate. But there's a fine line between tough, competitive play and actions that put players at undue risk of injury. As noted by the Washington Post, poor officiating hurts players, the league, and the fans by disrupting game flow and potentially influencing championship outcomes. A recent report indicated that 173 players have suffered injuries this season, missing a collective 789 games, approaching record highs. Inconsistent whistles can leave players unsure of how much contact to expect, potentially leading to awkward landings and an increased risk of injuries like ACL tears. The league's top talent, like Caitlin Clark, according to the Times of India, has been on the receiving end of questionable officiating that has sparked outrage amongst fans and fueled accusations of bias. Beyond safety, the quality of play suffers. Fans tune in to see skilled basketball, not a constant whistle fest or a brutal grind. When the rhythm of the game is consistently interrupted, the spectacle diminishes. One fan on Facebook expressed the sentiment perfectly, noting that the inconsistent officiating affects the game's outcome and the viewer experience. This is particularly critical at a time when the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented attention and growth. Squandering this momentum due to perceived officiating issues would be a major setback. The league's response and what's next. The WNBA is certainly aware of the backlash. Head of officiating Monty McCutcheon has emphasized that referees are held accountable based on clear standards and that their performance is continuously evaluated. the league has implemented an officiating analysis program, with nearly all games being watched live and every play graded by internal and independent reviewers. Teams can also flag plays for review and receive feedback on specific calls. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has acknowledged that there's room for growth and improvement and mentioned exploring the use of a replay center and other technology. However, the question remains whether these internal measures are sufficient to address the widespread concerns. Critics argue for greater transparency in the evaluation process and more consistent enforcement of existing rules. There's also the structural challenge that WNBA referees are not full-time, salaried employees like their NBA counterparts, which may impact recruitment and training, according to the Los Angeles Times. The recent collective bargaining agreement, CBA, between the league and its players ends in October, and it's highly likely that officiating and working conditions will be a significant point of discussion in the upcoming negotiations, as reported by Yahoo Sports. The current situation puts the WNBA at a crossroads. Addressing the officiating issues is about more than just fairness in individual games. It's about preserving the league's credibility and capitalizing on its growing popularity. How the league chooses to respond to these concerns in the coming months will likely shape its trajectory for years to come. All eyes will be on the remainder of this exciting playoff series and the league's actions off the court. What are your thoughts on the WNBA's officiating and the level of physicality in the games? Do you agree with Becky Hammon's assessment? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more in-depth WNBA news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next update.